Hey everyone, we're stepping into the past today to uncover the marvels of ancient engineering with a look at gadgets that were far ahead of their time. So for today's video, I'm counting down 15 of the most incredible ancient gadgets, starting with number 15, Greek fire. In the 7th century AD, the Byzantine Empire harnessed the power of fire with the creation of Greek fire, a weapon of destruction unlike any other before its time. This incendiary weapon was able to fire massive flames in a continuous jet, burning a trail of destruction in its path that was nearly impossible to extinguish. Though the exact recipe for Greek fire still remains a mystery, historians believe they've uncovered some of the fascinating practical ways this mysterious weapon was used. Greek fire was a game-changer for Greece when it came to naval warfare. Though the exact origin of it is still unclear, many believe it was invented by a Syrian engineer named Kallinikos. Unfortunately, not much is known about him or his life story, but it's assumed that he brought his invention to the Byzantine Empire. Its use in the creation of Greek fire is a very strong possibility. Number 14. The Feos Disc. In 1908, an Italian archaeologist ventured into the ruins of Feos, an ancient Minoan palace on the south coast of Crete. In an underground temple depository amongst burnt bones, dust, and ashes, he found a remarkably intact golden-hued disc. This discovery is known as one of the most famous mysteries in archaeology, the Feos Disc. This disc is a large, umber-colored fired clay plate, about 15 centimeters in diameter and about 1 centimeter thick. Both sides of the disc are covered with a spiral of strange stamped symbols, circling clockwise towards the disc's center. It's presumed that the 45 unique symbols were made by pressing hieroglyphic seals into the damp, soft clay disc. Well, to this day, researchers still debate the purpose of this disc and what the coded symbols mean. But the most curious aspect of the disc is the hieroglyphics. These symbols are pictograms from Atlantis, an adventure story, a description of the mythical labyrinth, initiation rites, or even a solar calendar. Nobody really knows. Number 13. The Iron Pillar of Deli. In Deli stands one of the world's most intriguing metal artifacts, the Iron Pillar. Remarkably, despite being over 1,000 years old, this pillar shows no signs of rust. It measures some 24 feet from the top of its capital to the bottom of its base, with 3.5 feet buried underground. The base rests on a grid of iron bars that are soldered with lead into the upper layer of the stone pavement. The pillar's lower diameter is about 17 inches, tapering to an upper diameter of about 12 inches, and it's estimated to weigh about 6 tons. The pillar is adorned with several inscriptions, the oldest of which is a 6-line, 3-stanza Sanskrit verse. Mention of the name Chandra in the 3rd verse has enabled scholars to date the pillar back to about 375 to 415 AD. Although now it stands in Deli, giving the pillar its astonishing ability to remain rust-free for over a millennium. Number 12. The Antitha Mechanism. So we talk about this one a lot on this channel, but on May 17th in 1902, a Greek archaeologist, Levius Cup, made a groundbreaking discovery when he uncovered a corroded chunk of metal from an Antitha wreck, a shipwreck off the Greek island of Antitha. This find, later identified as part of the mechanism, is often described as the world's first analog computer. The mechanism contains at least 30 different types of gears and about 2,000 letters inscribed on its door plates, and they're thought to form a type of a user manual. Some speculate that the device was inspired by renowned inventor and mathematician Archimedes. Due to its intricate design, many regard it to be the first analog computer. Derek DeSolla Price, who analyzed the mechanism in the 1960s, famously remarked that discovering it was akin to finding an internal combustion engine in Tutankhamun's tomb. While the knowledge providing insight to their perception of the universe, they viewed nature as operating according to predetermined rules, like a machine, an idea that laid the groundwork for modern scientific thought. Number 11. The Nimrod Lens. The Nimrod Lens, a 3,000-year-old piece of rock crystal, was unearthed by Sir John Layard in 1850 at the Assyrian palace of Nimrud in what is now Iraq. Since its discovery, scientists and historians have debated its use. One prominent Italian professor claimed that the lens was used by the ancient Assyrians as part of a telescope, explaining their extensive knowledge of astronomy. The lens, also known as the Layard lens, dates back to about 750 to 710 BC. It's made from natural rock crystal, and it's slightly oval in shape. Roughly ground, perhaps on a lapidary wheel, it's got a focal point about 11 centimeters from the flat side and a focal length of about 12 centimeters. These dimensions suggest that the Nimrod Lens would function as a 3x magnet we may never fully unravel. Number 10. The Gavan Column. Centuries before the advent of modern seismographs, Armenian monks residing in the Tatev monastery ingeniously devised the Gavan Column, a pivoting pillar sensitive to seismic activity. Positioned within the area of the Voratan River Gorge, the Tatev monastery thrived as a hub of scientific and philosophical inquiry during the medieval era. Originally a site of pagan worship, the monastery evolved with the construction of its first church between 895 and 906. It was dedicated to Saints Paul and Peter. In its heyday, marked by the erection of a shrine to the Virgin Mary in the 11th century, the monastery flourished with nearly 1,000 monks and artisans, housing a library having over 10,000 manuscripts. However, this period of prosperity was abruptly halted by the invasion of the Seljuk Turks in 1170, resulting in the destruction of the monastery and the loss of its invaluable manuscripts. Gradually, amid all its history, the Gavan Column still stands as an example of ancient ingenuity, while the well-preserved oil mill and the tomb of Grigor Tatavatsi provide glimpses into the monastery's rich past, evoking a sense of awe and reverence for its legacy. Number 9. The Archimedes Screw. Archimedes, the renowned Greek mathematician, scientist, and inventor, he left an indelible mark on the ancient world with his contributions to mathematics and engineering. He's often hailed as the father of simple machines. He introduced groundbreaking concepts such as the lever and the compound pulley, alongside a plethora of ingenious inventions. During the reign of King Hiero II, Archimedes unveiled some of his most celebrated creations, including his enhancement of the Archimedes Screw. Originally, this was devised by the ancient Egyptians as a means of water transportation. Archimedes refined that technology to unprecedented levels of efficiency. The screw, characterized by a hollow tube portions of the screw, such as reverse operation to harness hydroelectric power through the Archimedes screw turbines. These turbines represent an approach to small-scale hydroelectricity generation, offering sustainable energy solutions even in areas with minimal natural water resources. Number 8. The Astrolabe. The astrolabe, which is an ancient astronomical instrument with roots tracing back to antiquity, remains an example of ingenuity and precision, combining intricate design with practical functionality. At its core, the astrolabe is a metal disc adorned with a labyrinth of wires, cutouts, and perforations. It's crafted to facilitate precise calculations of celestial positions. Comprised of a disc known as the mater, which cradles one or more flat plates called the tympans, the astrolabe is tailored to specific latitudes. Each tympan bears an engraved stereographic projection, delineating the azimuth and altitude circles that mirror the celestial sphere above the local horizon. Knowledge with over 1,000 documented applications spanning astrological, astronomical, and navigational domains. In the Islamic context, the astrolabe played a vital role in determining prayer times, establishing the directions towards Mecca, and shaping the lunar calendar. Its integration into Islamic intellectual and religious practices underscored its cultural and scientific influence, symbolizing the convergence of astronomy, math, and spirituality. Moving on to number 7, the Nilometer. In the ancient realm of Egypt, the Nile River's temperament held sway over life's fortunes during each harvest season. Long before the era of the Aswan Dam, which tamed the river's floods, these ingenious Egyptians devised a tool to gauge the Nile's mood, the Nilometer. This instrument came in 3 distinct varieties, remnants of which still grace Egypt's landscapes. Among them was the simplest form, a towering column nestled within a submerged stone structure known as the Stilling Well. Take for the Nilometer on Rhoda Island resides within a modernized edifice. Its ornate interior is adorned with intricate carvings. While a conical roof now crowns the structure, replacing an erstwhile dome lost in the French occupation of 1825, visitors can travel in there in its entirety, with 3 erstwhile water tunnels now filled. Number 6. The Opus Caementicium. You ever wonder how your brand new apartment seems to be falling apart, but so much Roman architecture around the world still manages to survive the test of time? Well, the answer is Roman concrete. It stood as a marvel of ancient engineering and of minds, shaping the architectural landscape of ancient Rome. It's crafted from a blend of hydraulic setting cement and aggregates. This material found application in a myriad of enduring structures, including bridges, reservoirs, and aqueducts. Dating back to around 150 BC, with some scholars suggesting even earlier Genesis, Roman concrete had remarkable durability. Its strength was often augmented with polarizations, and internal constructions within walls and domes endowed this concrete with flexibility, allowing structures to withstand earth tremors. Even gradation techniques exemplified by the Pantheon's alternating layers of light tuff and pumice further bolstered its strength and stability. Number 5. The Baghdad Batteries. So the Baghdad Batteries, they're a trio of artifacts discovered near present-day Qujut Rabu in Iraq. It's captivated imaginations of historians and scientists since its unearthing in 1936. Comprised of a ceramic pot, a copper tube, and an iron rod, this assemblage raises more questions than it provides answers. Wilhelm Koenig, the former director of the National Museum of Iraq, first proposed a theory regarding the function of these objects. He suggested that they might have functioned as a galvanic cell, potentially utilized for electroplating or electrotherapy purposes. However, this hypothesis lacks solid evidence. Some researchers speculate that this substance could have served as an electrolyte. Theories regarding the purpose of this thing abound. Some propose that these artifacts served as storage vessels for sacred scrolls or had religious significance, while others speculate about their potential use in alchemical practices. As the debate surrounding the batteries continue, one thing remains certain: its discovery serves as a reminder of the ingenuity and prowess of ancient civilizations. Whether used for practical purposes or imbued with symbolic meaning, the true nature of the Baghdad Battery may forever remain shrouded in mystery. Number 4. The ZangHang Seismoscope. ZangHang's invention of the seismoscope in 132 AD stands as an example of the remarkable ingenuity of Chinese technology. This pioneering device, capable of detecting earthquakes from afar without relying on local movement, represented a significant milestone in the history of seismic detection. In the ancient Chinese worldview, earthquakes were perceived not merely as geological phenomena, but as cosmic disturbances with use of a thin stick set loosely within the vessel, which would topple in the direction of a seismic shock, triggering the release of a bronze ball. The striking of the ball against one of the toads would serve as an auditory signal of the earthquake's occurrence. Remarkably, in 2005, scientists in Zhang's hometown managed to replicate his seismoscope and successfully detected simulated earthquakes based on waves from real-life seismic events. Even in the context of today's advanced scientific understanding, this seismoscope remains a symbol of innovation and foresight. Its refinement and reliability continue to inspire admiration, and it serves as an example of the timeless pursuit of knowledge and the quest to unravel the mysteries of the natural world. Number 3. The Lycurgus Cup. The Lycurgus Cup, a 1600-year-old Roman artifact housed in the British Museum, has long captivated scientists and art enthusiasts alike with its visual effects. Crafted from jade green glass, the cup transforms into a radiant during a mere 50 nanometers in diameter, a fraction of the size of a grain of table salt. The mechanism behind this is the vibrational behavior of the metal particles when exposed to light. As photons interact with these nanoparticles, they induce oscillations that alter the cup's perceived color. Modern applications of this kind of nanotechnology extend far beyond mere aesthetics. From diagnosing diseases to detecting biohazards at security checkpoints, nanoparticles offer unprecedented capability in sensing and analysis. In a recent study conducted by engineers at the University of Illinois, gold and silver nanoparticles exhibited remarkable sensitivity to various substances, showcasing their potential for enhancing sensors. By harnessing the power of nanotechnology, the Romans achieved feats that continue to inspire awe in the modern age. As scientists delve deeper into the possibilities offered by these particles, the potential for groundbreaking advancements across numerous disciplines continues to expand. Hundreds of similar stone wheels are found across North America. These structures, known as medicine wheels or sacred hoops, have been constructed by Native Americans for centuries. They serve various purposes, from ritualistic to astronomical. Over time, they've been adopted by New Age spiritualists, Wiccans, and pagans. Archaeoastronomer Jack Eddy's research revealed the wheel's celestial significance. Built by Plains tribes between 300 and 800 years ago, the wheels aligned with the positions of the sun and prominent stars around the summer solstice. Eddy discovered that viewing points created by aligning specific cairns correspond to significant horizon points. For example, 2 cairn alignments mark where the sun rises and sets on the summer solstice, the year's longest day. Additionally, other cairn combinations align with the risings of the bright stars Aldebaran, Rigel, and Sirius. At the Bighorn medicine wheel, Aldebaran's helical rising happens a few days before the solstice. Rigel rises 28 days later, which is one lunar month. Damascus steel is renowned for its qualities and historical significance. It was a hallmark of pre-industrial metallurgy, and it's often used to forge weapon blades. Its production involved a closely guarded process in which wrought iron was heated to a red-hot state in the presence of materials within closed vessels. This process resulted in an iron-carbon alloy with carbon content of up to 1.8%. The carburized iron was then likely annealed to reduce some of the carbon content before being hammered into bars and fashioned into items such as swords. The distinctive features of Damascus steel include its remarkable hardness and its unique watered or streak appearance, which is due to the varying carbon levels of the original material. Often, a single bar of Damascus steel was composed of different types of steel, which were repeatedly welded and folded and re-welded until the layers intertwined. The quality of a Damascus blade was often judged by these patterns, which served as an indicator of the steel's quality. Over time, many legends have root steel ingots used to make Damascus steel were carburized with woody biomass and leaves, which contributed to the formation of carbon nanotubes. Recent research indicates that these carbon nanotubes can originate from plant fibers, providing a little insight into how they might have been incorporated into the Damascus steel. The production of Damascus steel swords gradually declined and ceased around 1900, with the last documented instance happening in 1903 in Sri Lanka. Theories explaining this decline include the disruption of trade routes, the depletion of specific ores, the loss of technical knowledge, and the suppression of the industry by the British Raj. The discovery of these carbon nanotubes in Damascus steel, though, suggests that the specific production process or raw materials were crucial and possibly lost over time. Thanks.